The All Progressives Congress APC on Saturday, May 5, elected some new executives of the party at ward levels across the country. While the conduct of the congresses have been described in different phases by different people, not a few agree that the congresses are fraught with some irregularities in some states. However, the statement by the APC National Publicity Secretary BOLAJI Abdullahi described the world congresses as generally peaceful despite the cases of violence recorded in some states. The statement also acknowledges the issue arising from the conduct of the world congresses in some states. How peaceful was the process in general? What triggered the violence that led to the death of one of the aspirants in Delta states, and why are our election process still marred in violence here and there? These are issues that we shall be taking up on the program Nigeria Today. I am Shegun Ojelade. I'm being joined in the studio by Athanasius Okon. He is the international president of the Buhari Friends Organization Network. I welcome you to the program.
Thank you so much. Good evening, viewers.
I also have with me Ata Achimugu. He is a member board of trustees of the Buhari Campaign Organization. I welcome you to the program.
Good evening. Thank you.
Now, Athanasius Okon, you've had reports of the conduct of the ward elections of the APC from across the country, and probably you were in one of the states to monitor or to participate in the exercise. How will you assess the exercise generally?
Yes, as reported, I think from the media's account, was generally peaceful, but in some places, crisis. You know, crisis is essential to life. There is no society that is free from crisis, and any society you see no crisis, then it's not a good one. That is why you need to have conflict resolution in place. Yes, it went well in some states, in some places there were challenges, no doubt about that. I see this as part of our society. Irrespective of political platform, it has been in our culture. They need to, you have your way, double cross the other person and be smarter. If possible, you can be smarter. So that culture has been in our system, and I see it as the best culture. It's not good enough. If I have my way, I think the concept of the option A4 should be introduced where people will queue up at all times.
It was used in some of the centers.
Yes, for some centers, our information is that they were used. But then, did they actually follow the due process? Is my problem here. It's one thing to say election was a crisis, peaceful. Another thing was the due process actually followed. Okay. It could be peaceful because the powerful overpower the weak. Yes, we can say it's peaceful because the weak will not be able to talk. Who will hear? Who will listen to him? It could be peaceful by so saying. So the issue of being peaceful, as some people will say it in some places, I think it is subject to research too to confirm. Was it really peaceful? Was anybody cheated? Because people could be cheated and still will be reported peaceful. So it has been a kind of a social problem in Nigeria. We hardly go for any election that will be very free. So it's one thing we need to change in our system.
Okay. Generally, let me hear from you. How will you assess the APC World Congresses?
No, thank you very much. I think I will agree with Dr. Athanasius that conflicts and conflict resolutions is part and parcel of human evolution in general, and it cut across all societies of the whole world. Particularly given the plurality of multi-ethnic groups as we have in Nigeria, vis-a-vis the struggle for powers and so on and so forth. But be that as it may, I think the World Congresses has been a very successful one. I and some of us that are, watch us, because when the coast is clear, that is when we can come in, and so on and so forth. We anticipated even a more, dramatic events than what has turned out. Congratulations to the nation that this has happened and this has come, on the heels of what Mr. President have been doing. And he has given the allowances, have given the chances that all these congresses must start. And so I think it's a good thing for democracy.
Now, I want you to look at those that are aggrieved now. What should be their attitude? Because these are some events that can, if not well handled, can lead to greater problems and challenges.
Well, that is why the patriarchy, in their wisdom, decided, as they send in the team to conduct the congresses, they also move along. The same time with appeal committee, that where there are grievances, area of disagreement, and they cannot agree, and then they will resort to that committee. You have any area that you believe you are not comfortable with it in the course of the primaries, you can go to appeal committee to present your grievance, or grievances as the case may be. So for those that were not comfortable with the outcome, the conduct of the congresses, assuming that they were not satisfied with the congress at their different places, they have opportunity. That is a kind of second chance. You go to the appeal committee to lay your complaint, and I think they will listen and sort it out at the end of the day.
So you want to add to that?
Yes, I mean,
so that some politicians don't, because during the Congress, some people actually took the laws into their hands, where we recorded deaths, for instance, in Delta State. Now that some of the events happen, what are the options open to politicians to resolve some of the grievances?
No, thank you very much. I think this is extremely an internal affairs of All Progressive Congress, and I think there are a lot of party machineries that are put in place already to address this. I think in the APC generally, we are beginning to imbibe that culture of being a good winner and a good loser. Today I win, tomorrow it could be my turn. Tomorrow I lose, today it could be my turn to win. So I think by and large, the conflict resolution mechanisms that is in place in the APC now is equal to the task, and definitely they will address this issue to the interests of everybody in the party, so that we can focus on 2019 as one bunch of the boom, which is our logo.
Now, during his opening remarks, Athanasius mentioned the issue of the powerful dominating the weak. From some of the things that we witnessed, it's like maybe the governors, for instance, or other powerful people in the party in the various states actually play a dominant role. That how will you look at our system where the powerful still rule over the weak, especially in an election process like this? Does it augur well for us?
Well, thank you very much. First and foremost, it does not augur well for us. You see, and it is not just now that it started. First of all, let us even look at the World Congress itself, that it was allowed to take place in itself is a big plus. And I think gradually, APC is gradually moving away from that culture of this governorship, this gubernatorial control of the party machinery of a thing. I think that gradually is dying down. Left alone, I think left alone for that kind of event, I think even the World Congresses would have taken place in the first place. But I do believe that the strong should accommodate the weak, and the weak should equally accommodate a level playing field for everybody to actualize his dreams.
Now, Athanasius, what will you say in some of these states where we have irregularities, misunderstanding? What actually failed the party? Is it poor planning, or the uncanny attitude of politicians to want to circumvent the process?
Well, like I said earlier, I will continue to say it. The problem is cultural. The kind of a culture we have found ourselves and has contributed in no small measure to this. Therefore, the need for cultural orientation. I keep saying this. When you are in a culture that is full of indiscipline, no matter what you do, they will always want to do something and cut the corners, want to cut somewhere and not doing it straight and not going through the right process to follow, because certain interests must be protected at all costs. I want to live and pray to see a country at a given time where the poor man with credibility will be able to go to places on merit in governance, will be elected on merit, as the powerful, the rich will equally. That is the issue of the having a common template for a level playing field. I will pray a day come or a time come in Nigeria where there will be that level playing field, where the poor man child and the rich man child can be put with the same template of leadership recruitment. That is my advocacy. I pray like that. Aside being an APC man.
Can such happen in 2019?
I'm praying. I still pray. This is a culture of a country. It has nothing to do with a political party. I'm talking about Nigeria. We have gotten this the best culture over the years.
Yes.
I'm here saying it here as a way person that it is not good. It's not a good culture. We should learn to change. I recall the era of when General Buhari was a military head of state. There was a new culture. Culture can be changed. War against the discipline. You see the, what do you call it? The concept of National Orientation Agency on the, what do you call it again? Federal Minister of Information. Change begins with me. If that change begins with me, as far as I'm concerned, it's like you open your mouth, there is no single tooth. You have no teeth. Can you bite? Change begins with me has no teeth to bite. So you need a better policy that will be driven with serious teeth and capacity to bite. Okay. Because of a peculiar culture we have. Okay. Nigerian culture needs some kind of, you have to force people to do things right.
Okay, that's the word, force.
Not a question of force per se. Lead them to do things right.
Because this is a democracy.
Yeah, but it gets to a level. No, but see, democracy can be defined in your own context, different from another country. In our own peculiar situation, Nigerian culture, we can have our own democracy.
Determine our own.
Yes, democracy. Like option A4 was even borrowed from me. I learned some time ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the program is Nigeria Today. We are taking a look at last Saturday's World Congresses of the ruling APC in the country. We take a short break. My two guests are still around.
The Nigerian Television Authority News 24 channel, your dependable all-round news station, offering you world-class news programs, documentaries, spotlights, promos and information highlights. Take advantage of our network reach and advertise your interest, goods and services with us. NTA News 24, first among equals with digital broadcasting. You can reach us on channel 21 terrestrial TV and channel 101 on the Star Times platform. For more inquiries, please call Coretta 0803 618 9986 or Henry on 0803 379 0884. Join us today.
You're welcome back. The program Nigeria Today continues. We're taking a look at the All Progressives Congress APC World Congresses held nationwide last Saturday. Now, Athanasius, before we went on that break, you were talking about attitude change, but we don't seem to have time. 2019 is just around the corner. The change you preach may not be readily available by 2015. So
19.
People say that 2019. Now people say that if we are having this kind of crisis or problem during world congresses, the party is still going to do state and then national convention. I mean, is this not a prelude to a greater problem in the party?
Yes, the problem has been always bringing a square peg into a round hole. That is the genesis of the problem. When you allow mediocrity to overshadow merits What do you expect? I keep telling people, you don't plant cassava and expect yam. It's not possible. As the people in the ICT world say, you garbage in and you garbage out. Whatever you put is what you get. So I believe in this concept of changing the society. We can all collectively change society. And this, to me, is the issue of leadership. I would not hesitate to talk about leadership. Leadership drives a lot of things in the society. Look at the president. He's a highly known personality to be disciplined all over the world. He does not condone indiscipline. But are the people around him that are supposed to help in projecting this quality or qualities of this man? Are they helping matters? So the multiplier effect of what you see is what you witness at the level of the congresses. Perhaps we move to election at the higher level, because that of the election at the higher level is the area of my apprehension, because it will now become a contest now between or among political parties. Not this one is within this internal issue. Now we should start emphasizing on the principle of internal democracy. Let's go seriously on internal democracy. And leadership of the party matters a lot. You see, I become a friend to people like Adam Oshimole. People don't like such people in society. He has a strong will, he has independent mind, but society would not like such a person.
Don't campaign for him.
No, I'm not campaigning, but I'm telling you, when he was a governor of Edo State, you saw it. He said godfatherism in politics.
They're still on it.
So sorry. Godfatherism in politics is also part of the problem we are having today. Because a godfather sit down somewhere, he must be that person.
Yes.
In the course of that, majority of people may not like the person. He's not popular.
Okay.
The majority must be forced to say, no, we will not agree.
Yes.
As a result of this disagreement, crisis setting. So what I'm saying, leadership is the issue here. That is what brought the issue of, I'm bringing a sample of the leadership of Adam Oshimole as a governor. Okay. It was.
That's okay.
Yes, exemplary, I must confess.
Yes. Now, let's look at the issue of violence in our party processes or electioneering generally. We thought we had gotten over it, because we had some elections that we didn't see any semblance of violence. But coming in during the World Congress of same party now, you know, that caused worry to the extent that somebody died. What advice do you have for politicians across board as we journey to 2019?
Thank you. First and foremost, you see, the point is that I have an adage in my culture that says, you don't just wake up and tell a thief, stop, and you expect him to stop immediately. Okay. All you can advise is, please continue to be reducing the degree.
What is that?
I'm an Igalama fan. So please be bringing the degree down a little bit, and so on and so on. I think progressively we are going to see this, come down. And one of the major ingredients that propel all this is this winner takes all attitude, and particularly the impetus that drive people to steal from the government. So you know that if I fight my way and I get to that place, then I know I've made it. Then I continue to steal to my own. We can see today that that is being seriously discouraged, and Mr. President has been fighting this seriously. I think by the time the degree of such stealing escapades are coming down, then the do or die affair of it will be coming down. But if I want to narrow this to my own APC, you see, we learn progressively as we go. We have seen the World Congress. The experience, the take home from what we have seen now would be translated in all other progressive elections that we are going to see. The party machinery will learn from this one and checkmate whatever must have informed this one. And I can bet you, as we are going to go, we'll have it on a very good ride.
Okay. I think I want you to, your final comment on the program, build on that, because, like I said, we still have the local government and state congresses before we come to the convention later in the year. Now, what advice do you have for the leadership of the party and then the followership generally, in one or two sentences?
Well, like I keep saying, my issue of mentioning leadership, it has a meaning. Like some people came and complained. Look at the state governor, ran all the way to Daura to complain. If we had gotten a super chairman of the party at the center. One man was complaining on channel television from Delta State that they blocked the way for him to see the chairman of the party. But there will be chairman of that character that will say, come on, whatever it is, I'm available. That is the leadership problem I'm talking about. I pray that the APC, my party, will be able to come out with a leader that will be so exemplary, that will be full of discipline himself, because you can't be a good leader without discipline starting from you, showing example. The problem we have in this country is having leaders that show good example, so that followership will be an easy thing to drive.
Okay.
So my take is this: by the grace of God, we learn from mistakes. I'm not saying this that is so peculiar to a particular party. I'm talking about a social problem, which Nigeria has been bedeviled with over the years. It has been a culture of impunity. People, big men, muscling the small one weak. How do you? I was a small boy when they said the generation tomorrow belong to the youth. Shabi, I've outgrown that age now. Very soon my children will also be suffering. All people continue to recycle themselves. There should be room for equal this thing platform now for people to come on board.
Yeah, I must thank you because this is why we have to call it a date on the program. I must thank you, Athanasius Okun, the international president of Buhari Friends Organization Network. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yes, and then Atta Achimugu, member board of trustees of the Buhari campaign organization. I thank you also.
Thank you very much. We have a very short time.
Yes, very short time. Yes.
Thank you very much.
When there are good things going on, time flies.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes, this is where we call it a date on the program Nigeria Today. We shall be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.